give you some instructions on how to assemble your bench. First thing you want to do is find the top piece. It's going to look like this. It's the largest solid piece of wood. On the bottom side, there's going to be some arrows. It's going to lay it on the floor with the finished side down, and the arrows facing towards you. Okay. Next, you're going to grab your top support piece. It's going to look like this. Okay. Set it right down like that. Again, with the arrow facing towards you and this taller front edge facing towards you. Next, we're going to grab our end pieces. These are going to be labeled with either an L or an R on them. So this one's labeled with an L. We're going to set it right here. Grab these longer silver screws in your hardware pack. Take either a Phillips bit or a number 2 square bit. It works with either. So want to make sure it's even along this front edge out here. And 3 of the pocket screws. Okay, and then we're going to grab our right side one. It's going to be right like this. Okay, the same thing, make sure it's even along this front edge. Install the pocket screws. You're installing these, just apply a little bit of pressure on the back side back here to keep it tight as the screws are going in. Everything should be pre-drilled, so it should align easily. Also, if you can get one of these longer bits like this, it makes putting these pocket screws in a lot easier. You should be able to pick them up at any hardware store, home improvement store. Okay, and then next, hard to see probably in the video, but there's some lines on the top, bench top. So I make sure that the edges of the bench, corners of the bench are inside those lines. It should be an even overhang all the way around. So next we're just going to install, there's pocket screws here. The other one on this corner down here, make sure it's inside that line. Okay, and then there's go down into here. Move our screws out of the way. I'm just going to stand the bench up on its end and put the right side down like that. Next, I'm going to grab the middle shelf piece. It'll look like this. It'll have this notch out. Be some arrows on the bottom. So you're just going to put it in like this. The arrow facing towards me, the finished edge facing towards me. You'll notice there's some lines right here. One right here. Just going to want to put the bottom of that shelf even with that line. And you just want to lift up slightly on this to slide it into place. Grab your pocket screws. Make sure it's even along this front edge and even with that line. Install your pocket screws. Okay, we're going to go up here. It's the same thing up here. It's hard to see in the video, but there's a line. Just make sure the bottom of that shelf is even with the line. And then make sure it's even along this front edge out here. On these pocket screws, don't put them all the way in. I'm just going to put them in just a little bit to hold it there until we get our bottom shelf piece in. Grab our bottom floor piece. It's going to look right like this. It's got arrow on the bottom. So again, we'll just put it in right like this. There's a line right here as well. Make sure it's even with that line, even along the front edge. Install your screws. Okay, do the same thing up here. Lined up with the line, lined up with the front. These you can tighten all the way down. And then we'll go back and tighten these back up. Okay. Set the bench down. So there is a front piece right here. It's just going to go in just like this. It's going to go inside that groove right there. Right like that. And then there's some small black Phillips headed screws right here. Go around the back. Up in here, you see there's some holes right here. And these will just go inside those holes. Okay, so those are in. We're gonna grab another one of our silver screws. There's a pocket screw right down here that goes into the center of that divider. Okay, get that in. One more screw on the bottom down here that goes into that center divider. See right here? So make sure it's even along this front edge up there and install that screw. Set it up and ready to put our doors on. Doors look like. So you'll notice there's a hole for your handle. That's going to go towards the top. So this door is going to go on this side. This door will go on the other side. So there is some small silver screws here. Like that. Should be 8 of them total. What you do is you'll notice there's some holes in here. You'll see right where these go. We just want to line those hinges up with those holes. There. Put your top one on. Put the bottom one on. And then there'll be another screw that goes in there and another screw that goes in there. And then you can move to your other one. Same process on this side. Okay, and once those on, you put the other screws down there. If the doors don't line up perfectly, what you can do is there's adjustments on these. You can come in here and you can adjust the doors in and out with this screw, in and out with that screw. You can adjust them up and down. There's just different adjustment points here you can play with to get your doors aligned. Looks like we do need a little bit of aligning, but we'll take care of that. Okay, the handles, putting those on. Put the screw in through here. Put your handle on, screw it on. Put your handle on. Okay, and then we're going to move around to the back. Put the back on. Got 2 different bits on my drill. That's why I have 2 drills, but you may need to go back and forth between a square and a Phillips if you're just using the square bit. Some of those bits for the hand or the doors require a Phillips. Okay, so you have one that's labeled bottom or one that's labeled top. So you want to grab your top one, the arrow pointed up. this. Hold it tight up to the top. You notice there's some circles around some holes. That's where all your screws are gonna go. So get your top row of screws in. Top row screws in, you take your bottom one, like that, with the arrow pointing up. You put your bottom row of screws in. Then we'll put this middle row of screws in right here. Okay. And again, you may need to adjust these doors, but I'll get those adjusted now, so you shouldn't have to do that when you get the bench. But if you do, it's easy to do. So if you have any questions, thank you.